Today I told my family about my queen, and it got emotional. I didn't plan to tell them today. Honestly, I was going to keep it quiet a little longer. Not because I'm ashamed of you, never that, but because I knew once I said it, once I spoke your name with that kind of weight, it would change everything. And it did. I was sitting with them, nothing serious at first, just laughs, old stories, the usual noise families make when they feel comfortable. Then someone asked a simple question. So, is there anyone in your life right now? And I paused. Not because I didn't have an answer, but because I suddenly felt everything, every moment with you, every late night talk, every time I saw your face and thought, yeah, this is the one I want beside me for the rest of my life. So I said it. I said, yes, there's someone. She's not just in my life, she is my life. They got quiet, not because they were judging, but because I don't usually speak like that. I told them, you're not just someone I love. You're someone I respect, someone I admire, someone I've watched carry pain without complaining, and love without holding back. I told them how you challenge me, not by being loud, but by being honest. How you make me feel safe without needing to fix me. How you remind me what real love feels like. Not rushed, not loud, just true. And then it hit me. Right in the middle of that conversation, this woman I was describing, this love I was talking about, that's my queen. The woman I'm building a future with. My voice cracked a little. I wasn't expecting it, but when I said your name out loud, it carried weight. Because you're not a secret. You're not someone I'm trying to figure out. You're already the answer I didn't even know I was praying for. And then something happened I didn't expect. They asked about you, not just how did you meet, or what does she do. They asked, does she make you better? And I said yes, in every way that matters. I saw tears in a few eyes, because they know me. They know the kind of man I used to be, and they could hear it in my voice. I'm different now, because of you. After I said your name, after I told them how much you mean to me, it felt like something shifted in the room. The energy changed. Not in a bad way, but in a way that made everything feel real. Like I wasn't just sharing a story anymore. I was opening a part of my heart they'd never seen before. My mother sat still for a second, and then she looked at me with eyes that asked more than her words ever could. She said, do you feel safe with her? I took a deep breath, because I knew what she meant. Not just safe like comfortable, but safe like free. Free to be honest, free to grow, free to fail and not be judged, free to love without fear. And I said yes. I've never felt more like myself than I do with her. Then my brother, the one who never gets emotional, he looked at me and said, I've never seen you talk about anyone like this. And that hit me, because I didn't realize how much of a difference your love made until they said it out loud. They saw it in me before I even noticed it. How I speak softer now, how I think longer before reacting, how I smile at things that used to annoy me, because you've changed the rhythm of my heart without ever demanding I change. You didn't force me to grow, you just made it safe for me to want to grow. And when I told them that, I saw something I didn't expect. They smiled, not because they finally approved or because it made sense on paper, but because they could feel it. They could feel the truth in my voice. I said she's not just someone I love, she's someone I admire, someone I watch, even in silence, and think how lucky am I that I get to love someone like her. And then it got quiet again, but this time it wasn't awkward, it was full, like everyone in that room understood that this was different. This was something sacred. And for the first time in a long time, I felt proud. Not just of the love we have, but of the man I'm becoming because of you. I didn't realize how much I'd been holding in until the words started pouring out. It wasn't planned. It wasn't a speech. But once I started talking about you, everything inside me just came out. I told them how you saw things in me no one else did. How you never asked me to change. But just by loving me the way you do, you made me want to become better. Not just for you, but for us. For the future I never thought I could have until I met you. And when I said that, I could feel the shift in their hearts too. Because they weren't just hearing about love. They were hearing about transformation. I explained how your patience gave me peace. How your honesty brought clarity. How your presence became the quiet kind of home I didn't know I needed. And when I said, she's not perfect, and neither am I, but together it just works, I saw them nod. Not because they understood everything, but because they could tell. I meant every word. Then came the part that cracked something open in all of us. My dad looked over, quiet, the way he always is, and he said, "Are you ready to protect this kind of love?" And I paused, because he wasn't asking about rings or weddings or the right time. He was asking if I understood what it meant to carry something this deep, to not just have love, but honor it. And I said, I didn't used to be, but now I am. I told them this isn't a feeling I'm chasing. It's a decision I've already made. Every day, I wake up and choose you, even on the hard days, especially on the hard days, because loving you isn't a challenge. Losing you would be. And I think they got it. I think in that moment, they finally saw what I've known for a long time now, that this isn't just another chapter in my story. This is the turning point, the moment everything begins again. After all the words, after the tears that some of us tried to hide, there was this silence, not uncomfortable, but powerful. Like everyone in the room was sitting with what I said, letting it settle in their hearts. That's when I realized something important. This moment wasn't just about me introducing you to them. It was about me finally standing firm in the kind of love I've always dreamed of but never believed I'd find. I wasn't seeking their approval. I wasn't asking them to understand every piece of our journey. I was declaring something, declaring that I found the one person who makes every version of life feel possible, that I found you. I talked about the way you support me in silence, the way your eyes calm me when I don't have the words. I told them how you've shown me love isn't about controlling or keeping score. It's about choosing someone again and again, even when it's hard, even when the past shows up trying to haunt the present. And then I said the thing that truly made it emotional, even for me. I said this woman has loved me in ways I didn't even know I needed. She made me feel safe, not by solving all my problems, but by staying when I felt unworthy of being loved at all. You didn't walk away when my walls were up. You didn't run when I didn't know how to communicate. You didn't treat me like a project. You treated me like a person. And that changed me. My sister wiped her eyes. My mother leaned back and smiled. That knowing kind of smile. And my father, he didn't say much after that. But the way he looked at me said enough. It was the look of, you've grown, because this was the moment they realized I wasn't just in love. I was ready to build, to commit, to hold someone's heart with both hands and not let go when life gets messy. I ended by saying, she's not just the woman I love. She's the woman I respect, the one I see a future with. the one I'll protect. Not because she's weak, but because she's worth it. And you are more than I can ever say in one sitting. After everything I said, after the stories I shared, after my voice cracked and the tears came, there was one question left. One of them looked at me and asked, "So what happens next?" And for the first time in a long time, I didn't hesitate. I didn't second guess my words. I didn't try to clean it up or make it sound perfect. I just said, I'm going to love her out loud every single day. Because for too long, I kept love private. Not because I was hiding it, but because I thought protecting it meant keeping it quiet. But I've learned something with you. Real love doesn't hide. Real love doesn't whisper in the dark and stay silent in the light. Real love shows up, and that's what I'm doing now. No more loving you behind closed doors. No more holding back my feelings because I'm afraid of being too much. No more shrinking just to keep the peace. I'm going to tell the world about the woman who changed everything for me. The woman who believed in me when I didn't have much to offer. The woman who stayed solid when life was falling apart. The woman who didn't ask for grand gestures. Just honesty, respect, and real presence. So what happens next? I come home to you with less ego and more intention. I stop waiting for special days to show you you're special. I remind you daily that you are not just loved, you are valued. Not because of what you do, not because of how well you hold things together, but simply because you exist in my life. And that alone makes me a better man. So yes, it got emotional, not just for them, not just for me, but for every part of my soul that remembered what it means to truly see someone and to finally say, this is her. This is the woman I will love, protect, and grow with. Forever isn't a word I throw around lightly anymore. But with you, forever feels real. Forever feels safe. Forever feels like home.